Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Master Tatiana. Here we talk about everything inner child. This is for your health, happiness, and peace. If it's your first time coming on to this channel, welcome. Please stay around with us. There's so much treats. Today's topic is the do's and don'ts of reparenting. Yes. So you may have heard a lot of reparenting. What is reparenting and why are we relating this to inner child work? So many people, when they say reparenting, they are talking about nurturing and healing the inner child. Yes. Okay. The inner child is a part of the consciousness that is responsible for your memories and experiences. Yes. And usually where we have most of these experiences in our young ages. Okay, when we were very young, anything between 1 and 6 and 7, those are the most crucial times for us as we are developing, okay, and trying to get adjusted in this earth. Okay, so many or some of us, or not all of us, had experienced some form of trauma. Okay, even if you were raised in a home where you had everything, you had that silver spoon in your mouth, maybe you were over sheltered, maybe you weren't, maybe you were very neglected, who knows? But everyone goes through a level of trauma. There's not a person that didn't go through it. So when I say this, some people will say, oh no, that's not necessarily true. Well, guess what? I have worked and heard stories of people losing it or they favorite pillow, and it was just traumatic for them and it really affected them. So why would you even want to reparent the inner child, right? I want to reparent the inner child because this is the tools that you're going to use to help you restore and save that light of yours. So that inner child is like that beaming light that's trying to navigate you to that place where you can actually get answers, yeah, within yourself. So that's why reparenting is crucial, because if we don't reparent, then our inner child is moving in this world, caring and having to take care of itself, and it's a little bit of a rebel. Okay, is a little bit of a rebel. So you want to be able to allow the inner child to know that it no longer has to do the work on its own and that you have its back. But there are some things that we should be aware of when it comes to inner child reparenting work. Okay, so 3 major things I'm going to mention that we should stay away from when it comes to reparenting. 1 is judgment. Yes. 2 is perspectives. And 3 is over analyzing, and I'm going to explain all 3. Yes, that was Spanish, guys. You may hear some people say reparenting is you do everything that your parent didn't do for you. I'm telling you right now, you have to end that now. That is not proper information. Okay, so this is why it's important to know where you're getting your resources from. Okay, so I've done the work, so that's the reason why I'm telling you guys no. Okay, so inner child work is all about embracing. Yes, it's all about embracing. It accepts everything for what it is, how it happened, what it's for. Let's get it back. Boom. When you learn to accept and you embrace everything, then you can actually observe. You become more clear. Your eyesight is much more broader. You can actually direct yourself much better. Okay, so remember, your inner child has the keys, okay, and it's dangling the keys and it's rolling all over the place, and you're trying to go and grab the keys from this inner child, right? So very important, guys, very important. You don't want to get into a place of of feeling like, oh, I have to be better than my parent. Why? Because that is what? Judgment. Yes, guys, that is judgment. You are now stating out there in your vibrational state that what your parents did to you was just horrible and wrong. A question about that, Master Tatiana. Yes, guys, it hurt. Yes, guys, it was disappointment. Yes, guys, we felt abandoned. That is very true. Okay? However, when it comes to inner child work, inner child will do the cleaning for you. It will restore you. But if you go about reparenting yourself with the mind of, oh, my parent did this wrong, so now I'm going to do this way, you may have your inner child plot on you. Yes. Just like in real life, right? When you have the mother and father, the child always know which one it could get away with what. I'm gonna get away with this, I'm gonna get away with that, right? The same thing. Okay, so if you see yourself and say, you know what, my mom was like this, she was neglectful, she was this, she was that, so you know what, I'm not doing that. You're gonna give too much, right, of yourself, that you're gonna kind of lose why you started reparenting yourself in the first place. So we say that our parents only did what was taught to them, right? So if you do what was taught to you, how is that right and how is that wrong? Right? So again, you may disagree, and it's okay, because this requires you to really open up your eyes. So you know disappointment, you know hurt, you know sadness, you know betrayal. Why you know it so well? Because we done it back to other people. And you would say, no, I never did that. Let me have a talk with everyone you ever cross your life. So that is one thing that we want to stay away from, is judgment. Judgment is poison, and you don't want to do reparenting work. Perspective. Okay, so you have this idea of what you think a good parent is. Okay, so you want to be mindful of how you move forward with that. So when you hold a lot of perspective, you are now also, not only are you using judgment, of course, but your perspective may not be what your inner child seeks from you. Yes. You know, many of us feel like our inner child just always wants to be smothered with love, like the kind of love that is spoiling, I give you everything. No, your inner child wants discipline. Your inner child wants nurturing. Your inner child wants your unconditional love. Remember, there's a difference between unconditional love and conditional love. And usually what we operate with is conditional love. Okay? We operate with conditional love, which means that if our inner child does something that we don't like, we say, I'm going to punish you by taking this away. That's the type of parent we become. And we want to kind of stay away from that. Yeah. Right? So perspective, you know, I get it. We all have an idea of what it is to be a parent. Right? So now you may be asking, then how do you reparent if you don't use judgment? If you don't use perspective? I'm gonna explain that in a minute. Slow it down, please. All right. So now the last one, right? The don't is overanalyzing. Yes. We become so critical of how we're gonna do this. Okay. Do I feel something now? Or am I angry? Am I sad? Am I depressed? I don't know what's going on. Just feel that vibe. Right? Just that vibe in itself just will have you like, I don't know if this was the right thing for me to do. Right? So you want to also try not to overanalyze. Try not to overanalyze. So when we're doing the inner child work, it's so crucial for us to be able to identify when these three aspects are controlling the reparenting methods that we're using. We want to stay away from that as much as we can. All right, so the do's. Okay, when you come to inner child work, 3 phrases that you want to utilize, and it may sound weird for you in the beginning, but they are: I have. Yes, like I have what? What you mean? I have fear. I have disappointment. I have anxiety. You know, I have the feeling of anger. You know, because my mother didn't do this for me. My father didn't do this. My grandmother wasn't there. They left me. You know, I have. Identify these things as I have. Hold it. I have. When you say I have, you're taking ownership. That's one step of the parenting journey. The second one is I embrace. Yes. Inner child. Embrace. Children embrace everything. They like you even if you consider yourself to be a screw up. They love you. They work with you. They make it work. You know, you ever seen a child that is trying to get to their parent? Your chaos is, if it's your norm, is home. Okay? Your hurt, if it's your home, if it's your comfort, is home for you. So, lastly is very powerful. How can I do better? Or how can I step up at this moment? Those 3 phrases are crucial to reparenting. And you want to reparent from a neutral standpoint, not from a judgment standpoint, not from a perspective or over analyzing. You really want to be in a neutral state. So when you say I have, that's neutrality. Okay? When you say I embrace, that's neutrality. When you say how can I do better, that's neutrality. And all 3 is in alignment with innocence. Yes, innocence. So innocence, remember, children, if they felt that they hurt you, they will apologize instantly. They won't even waste time. They're like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, right? But we, because we have so much information going on, so many things flowing around us, we are quick to judge and say, oh my God, no, I didn't do this right. I didn't do this right. So, can we do inner child work on our own? Sure. Do you feel like it's all about journaling and having a picture of yourself? It's more than that. Okay, so you can definitely do inner child work, but what do I recommend? Dun, 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 dun. Of course, I'm going to recommend that you start off with a professional. Why? Because you must learn to identify the ego, right? The wounded inner child, you have to learn to identify it versus the bright inner child, because we all have it. We all have it. We have the wounded, but we also have the bright also. That's constantly with us as well. But of course, we go towards the one that stimulates the brain the most, which will be the wounded inner child. So that wounded inner child doesn't know the bright inner child. It does not know. They don't know each other. So what we want to do is embrace this wounded one that we resist a lot, but we get a lot of stimulation from this one. Okay, this one is like right? That's why usually I tell people, think about something that made you happy. Sometimes people take a long time for them to remember the thing that brought them so much joy. And many times I have heard, I don't even remember. Yes, guys, right? So, but when I ask, tell me your most painful memory, or share with me your most painful memory, oh, people could feel it. And even if they can't say it with their words, I can see it through their bodies, their shoulders, their how they hold their breath and don't even realize, like we are punishing ourselves. When as soon as we start talking about the wounded child, the body doesn't lie. It always expresses. When we talk about the memory, the light in a child, it's kind of hard for you to even remember that, right? But they both express different energies in the body. That's the reason why we call it inner child, because the body houses all this memory, right? So the body expressed to you what you've been thinking about. Yes, guys. So I hope that this was helpful. Leave your comments. If you have any questions, please do so. Bye now.